What's good, Cornertalks family? It's your boy Cheese, and we are episode 6 of the podcast. Yeah, we haven't been doing the podcast in about 3 weeks, almost a month, pretty much. And we missed a lot in the sports of football, basketball, and a little bit of baseball. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go over baseball today. I think there's really not that much going on. But I'll just double check and see. But yeah, Happy New Year's to everyone. 2025 now, not 2024. And Merry Christmas too, even though we're in January now. The stuff we missed out was a good amount of stuff. So let's look at let's start with the NBA standings before we get into the players and all the other stuff. So the NBA standings changed a lot since we last did the podcast, like a lot. So let's look at the Eastern Conference. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers, 31-4. Wow, last time we saw a team do that, I think since last year, if I'm correct, and might have been them, maybe. But last time we actually saw this, if I can remember, if it wasn't that, was Golden State Warriors. They were like, 70, 80 something, and 9 losses, something like that. It was like really, really good. That was back in 2017, something like that. Next up, you have the Boston Celtics, number 2 seed, 26-10. We all knew they're going to be a pretty good team this year. You got Kristaps Porzingis back. I think he's playing somewhat good, I heard. The team's still rolling. Jalen Brown, if I'm right, having memory loss right now. Doing good, had some injuries here and there. Jason Tatum playing at a high level. Teams overall doing good. The New York Knicks, 24-13, third seed. We honestly, a lot of people were just downplaying the Knicks, saying they're not going to do well. You just wasted all this pick, all this trade for nothing. They're doing good. But they haven't been playing good the last 3 games. Yesterday, the Knicks lost to the Orlando Magic, and I'll talk about them next. But they lost versus the Magic, they lost versus the Bulls, and they lost versus OKC. OKC, I get it. They're one of the best teams in the league so far. But the Bulls should have won, and the Magic, they should have won. But Cat wasn't playing yesterday for the Knicks, so they weren't focusing as rebounding more as they should, because Orlando was much more of a smaller team. I don't know why they weren't. You could have put 2 big, and it would have been good, but that's why you need a Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee on your team to get that 7-footer or taller on your team to rebound. You can't have all these 6'10", 6'9", 6'11" players on your team, because you can match up with the other team. But if you can add that 1 7-footer or taller, you'll win the game, because you need rebounding. You need it. But yeah, the Knicks are third in the East. Then we got the Magic, like I said, fourth, 22-16. Very impressive without Wagner, Mo, and France, and Pablo. If I said Pablo. Without the key players on that team, they're playing a lot of heart. Like, they were pretty much saying the Magic are going to lose so many games without their star players, but they got a lot of heart, which you got to give them props. Bucks 18-16, not an ideal spot for the Bucks. People thought they were going to be top 3, top 4 in the East, but something's got to change. Come on, yeah. Giannis, Lillard, Bobby Portis, Middleton, Lopez. Come on. You gotta change something in that lineup. I don't know why they're a good team, it's just they're not showing it. Pacers 19-18. I kind of see them in this position, 6th seed. Kind of see that. Pistons 18-18. Another shocking team in the NBA. People thought they were going to be one of the worst in the league, but they ended up impressing everyone else. I'm gonna say, yeah, I mean, I thought the Pistons were going to be like one of the worst too, but hey, It is what it is. Hawks are 18-18. Hawks is a little bit interesting. I feel they would have been maybe 5-60, not the 8th seed, but they're doing okay. Miami Heat 17-17. We'll go over this team really soon. Yeah, about Jimmy Butler. We'll go over that soon, but they're not a good place for the Heat. The Bulls are 10 seed, 17-19. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the team. It sounds like they're going to trade players, or they're not. I don't know. It's very, very confusing. A lot of these teams, it's very confusing. You don't know what the direction is. They're like scared to make a move or something. But if you've been dealing with this team, with these players for the past 4 years, you got to make a change. Not one move with DeMar DeRozan. He wasn't the problem. It was the other players. DeMar DeRozan plays at a high level. But, yeah, with the Bulls, then the 76ers, 11th seed, 14-20. A little bit shocking because a lot of people thought the 76ers would be top 3, top 2 in the East. But they're not. They're 14-20. That's bad. Joel Embiid had been having personality issues, injury issues, and Paul George injury issues. And then you got Cade Cunningham out for the season, which I think we never went over that. I think that happened when we were doing a podcast for those 2 or 3 weeks. But that team just, something, I don't know. 76ers be having bad luck. They got a black cat going through the court or something. I don't know. The Brooklyn Nets, 13-23. They're starting to make some trades here and there. They already got rid of 2 of their players. We'll go over that soon. You kind of saw them coming from that, being one of the worst teams in the East. Raptors, 8-28. A little bit surprising for this team, but you can kind of see that, they're all young. They're all trying to, fill each other out, trying to, see who gets the ball, who doesn't, who rebounds, all that stuff. I get it, but come on. They can at least be a 500 team. Because when you see them play, they look like they can be a 500 team. But I don't know what's going on. The Hornets, 7-27, 14th. They're one of the worst, like always. I think I haven't seen them play really well since they... Oh my god, I don't even know when the last time they were a really good team. Maybe when Kemba Walker was on the team 1 or 2 of the years, and they actually were pretty good. I forgot who was on the team, but as you know, not a good team. Washington, 6-27. Yeah, Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole, Valanciunas, if you want to say his name. You have some good players here and there. You have a couple of rookies that are balling out, but you can't win. So I'm not sure about that team either. I don't know if they're going to trade. What's the deal with them? I don't know. Now, let's go to the West. OKC Thunder, 30-5. Another team, just like Cavs, little to no losses, and just playing at a high level, which is awesome. I see them, honestly, going far in the playoffs, maybe NBA Finals, because I don't see anyone in the West that can really scare them. You can say Denver, you can say Mavs when healthy, maybe Houston, but no. Rockets, second in the West, 23-12. Impressive compared to last season, the year before. Good so far for the Rockets. People were kind of, saying they would be a play-in team, but they've proven everyone wrong right now. Grizzlies, 24-13. I was a little iffy about them beginning of the season. I wasn't sure they're going to be a good team or not. I was leaning towards middle to back end of the West, but third in the West right now. Really good. Nuggets, 20-14. They're doing much better than they did in the beginning of the season, which is good, but still need to be a better record than this. Lakers are 20-15, fifth in the West. I kind of wasn't really leaning them to be in the middle. I felt like leaning them more like 8th, 9th seed because of how the players they have on the team. But they're making a little bit moves here and there, different lineups switching here and there. So something is clicking. Something. Dallas, 20-16. Sixth in the West. I would say they could have done a little better, but Kyrie and Luka having injury issues is something that's really affecting the team's record. I think if they were healthy, they would be top 5 in the West. Warriors 8. My bad. I just skipped Clippers. Clippers 7th in the West, 2016. I feel like they could have been like 6th, maybe 5th seed, but not bad for a team who really hasn't had Kawhi Leonard, which, by the way, just came back. We'll talk about that. But not only without Kawhi Leonard, but like the team wasn't gelling as much as you would think, but you kind of can sense that they can somewhat have a better record than this. Warriors 18-17. I think in the beginning of the season we saw that they were doing really good. I think they were like top 5 or something like that, and then they just started flipping. They started losing a lot of games. I'm not sure what the issue was, but yeah. Then we got Timberwolves 18-17, 9th. Yeah, Julius Randle's not doing well with Anthony Edwards and Rudy, and Dante is really not helping as much. The team's not gelling that well. We'll get into more detail about that team and who won the trade, Knicks or Wolves, which we know who. Spurs, 10th, 18-18. I think so far very impressive. Chris Paul really changed the atmosphere in San Antonio. He's really playing like a leader. Like wherever else he's been to, Phoenix, OKC, Clippers, Hornets. But every time he went somewhere, he changes that record for that franchise really fast, which is awesome. I think San Antonio definitely can be a play-in team, maybe an actual playoff team, like a 7th seed. Who knows? Because the West is not that scary. It's not. And in San Antonio, just by seeing them play, they can be a good team. Maybe a first round, Game 6, Game 7, maybe second round, who knows? But I can see them be a pretty good team in the playoffs later on down the road. Now, the Kings, 18-19, watched them last night. They won second overtime versus Miami. Really, really good how they won that game. And I think the firing of the coach really helped this team turn around, won 6 or 5 straight. We'll look into more detail about this. Suns 16-18, not such a good record. You have Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, KD. Not a good look. Something got to change. Might get Jimmy Butler, who knows. But they're switching up the lineup right now, so it might be someone helping. They won yesterday, so maybe, who knows. Trailblazers 12-23, don't need to talk about them. Jazz 9-25. Jazz is a very interesting team. I feel like they could have been like a 8th, 9th seed team just by how well they did last season. And they were like clicking really good in the beginning of the season, even towards the middle a little bit. And then at the end they were kind of like but I'm shocked that they haven't been doing as good as I thought they would. And I had them ranked pretty higher up than this. And the Pelicans 7-29. I had them higher up too, but injuries. The only player that's actually playing is CJ McCollum, Murray, and Murphy. Those are their key players that are playing right now. Ingram, injury issue. Zion, too. Yeah, other players here and there. It's like, they cannot stay healthy. I don't know why. Every time there's a player who goes to New Orleans, there's an issue. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's just being lazy. Who knows? I don't know. It's just that's the only organization having so many injury issues. I don't know what the issue. Who knows? But yeah, there's that. Whatchamacallit? We got. Let me check something very fast. Hold on a second. Alright, so let's talk about what's going on in the NBA the last 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll do an overview of the trade, the suspension, etc. So let's talk about Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? So there was a trade with the Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets. So this was a really interesting trade, in my opinion, because why does the Nets have an obsession with D'Angelo Russell? Why? Tell me why. Because you have him, you get rid of him. Then you have him again, then you get rid of him. Like, why just keep him? And that's the thing. And when KD and Kyrie came, they should have just kept him. They should have just kept him. But this is how the trade went down. The Lakers got Finney Smith and Shake Milton, and also I think that's it. That's it. My bad. That's it. Only those two players the Lakers got for Russell. The Nets got Russell, Maxwell Lewis, and 3 second-round picks. Wow. Like, no offense to the Lakers, but why would you give up 3 second-round picks for Finley Smith? Like, Finley Smith isn't even that good of a player. Like, you act like he's like, oh my god. Like, I know 3 second-round picks is not like, it's not like special, but you can combine that for a first-round pick or whatever. But if you see his stats this season, 9.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 45.4 field goal percentage. Alright, that sounds pretty decent, but he was a starter the most of the time. Yes, his defense is pretty much big for the Lakers that actually need it. But 3 second-round picks? 3 second-round picks and Russell. I know Russell wasn't playing that good. Like, Russell's stats was kind of a little bit iffy. Let me look up his stats right now. So, his stats, he has 12.4 points, 2.7 rebounds, 5.0 assists, and 41.9 field goal percentage. So, not the greatest. Like, it's okay. And he was benching towards the end of the season. Not in the season, toward the end of time in LA, because it wasn't working out. But 3 second-round picks. What? It doesn't make any sense. I'm guessing it's because of the contract. Maybe that was the reason why. But still, like, Finley Smith is not going to change your whole, program around. I don't know. But who do you think won this trade? Comment down below. I think Brooklyn won this because whenever Russell was playing for the Nets, he does really good. Like, really, really good. And they need a guard. It sounds like they might be leaning towards getting rid of some other players soon. Who knows? But I think it's a good thing for Brooklyn to do this. And they get 3 second-round picks. They have about 16 or 17 picks the next 7 years. 7 years. And most of them is first-round picks. So they're turning like the Knicks were before they got rid of their picks. They're turning like the OKC Thunder. But OKC Thunder is just doing amazing how they're running their franchise. But the Nets are trying to be like that. They're trying to be like that. But gotta give them props. They're trying to, they're not trying to go back where they were when the KD, Kyrie situation with Harden. They lost a lot, especially with the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce era back in the day. Yeah, they really messed up their franchise. I really don't get why they went for that. KG and Paul Pierce and Jason Terry, they were all in their like mid-30s. They had 1 or 2 years left. They weren't in their prime really. They were, I guess, a little bit, but yeah. But that was the trade. Like I said, I think the Nets won this trade because of the picks, and you get a pretty decent player in Russell that will help the franchise some way. Then we're going to talk about, I feel like there's other trades I might have almost missed. Let's see. Oh, some injuries. We'll talk about some injuries too. We have a lot to talk about, especially in the NBA. So, let's see. Okay, Sacramento Kings. So they fired coach Mike Brown. So Brown won the Coach of the Year 2023. So right before he came to Sacramento, the Kings were bad. They hadn't made the playoffs in I don't know how many years, like 2003, something like that. It was like over 20 years. And as soon as they came in, the culture shift. He was just doing really good. The players liked him, and he was actually a really good coach. But what happened was, they fired Brown right before the team flight to LA, shortly after he led practice and spoke to the media. So as soon as he was on his way to the plane, they called him in his car. That's messed up, bro. That's messed up. Like it just doesn't make any sense how some of these players you don't blame them on the player, you blame them on the coach more than half the time. Like, I get it, the coach is kind of one of the main key reasons why your team isn't doing well. He's supposed to lead, but it's just ridiculous how like they'll fire him like this. And he was coach of the year in 2023. But what really got him fired, it sounds like he wanted to bench DeMar DeRozan and kind of also held Fox accountable. And I can kind of DeRozan's kind of a little bit iffy because he's a really good player. And I feel like benching DeRozan is kind of silly because he's dropping so many buckets and why bench him? That one I can kind of be like, alright, you're tripping. But Fox, I can kind of see it because I can tell Fox really has something about him I don't like that coaches don't really do well with him. So I can kind of see that. So maybe that what made him get fired because maybe the players weren't feeling him and they were, he was pissing them off. Who knows? But I think it was a little bit of a silly mistake to do that. Who knows? But like I said, the Kings won 5 or 6 straight already with this head coach that intern. I think he's like the assistant. Let me look up his name. His name is head coach. Let me look him up. Doug Christie. His intern head coach. So pretty much what I've heard last night too during the game is that he literally doesn't teach the players how to play. He lets them play, but he leads them. So what I mean by that is that he didn't tell them, hey, go over here, go over there. But I saw the fact that one player missed a shot, but it was a pretty decent shot, and he was like, good shot, and that's what the commentator said, what he said, and I can kind of tell from his how he was saying it, and you can tell he doesn't put too much pressure on the players. He lets the players play, have fun, and that's what a lot of coaches should do. But I feel like this coach that they have intern, I feel like he might be the head coach for the team. If I was them, I would let it ride out with him. If they do really good, sign him for a 1-year contract and see how that goes. If it does really good again, sign him multi-year contract, like 3 years contract, I would say, after that. Do that. Because it seems like the players like him. Like, just by me watching him that one game, it seems like he really cares. Like, he's like a coach. He's someone that wants to coach for that team, and the players seem like they like him. And they let the players be NBA players. They let them be coaches on the court. He lets them do what they gotta do, but he'll toss them here and there, which is awesome. I think it's a really good thing that he's the intern coach right now. And it's crazy how it's so early in the season. Well, not really early, but I would say pretty early that he's intern coach. Not like they let Mike Brown coach the rest of the season or middle of the season and then did it. But I think it's somewhat a good choice that the Kings did, in a way. It can go either way, bad way, good way, but just by them winning 5 and 6 games straight, pretty good. Now, don't make excuses because these teams don't have their all-stars, this and that. I don't care. You can have one all-star not playing and have the rest. And, if they're just winning 5 6 games straight, that's really good. That's really, really good. So, yeah, we have that. Then, as for the Mavs, this is kind of stinks. So, like I said, the Mavs aren't doing so good right now. Kyrie Irving out 1 to 2 weeks, which stinks because, I don't know. I feel like he's always injured, to be honest. But Kyrie Irving out 1 to 2 weeks with a bulging disc in his back. I feel like he has some back issues all the time, but hey, who knows? But out 1 2 weeks, who knows? Might be a little longer, but that's what they say. And then we got Luka. So Luka is out for about a month, maybe 2. I think it's a month. I don't think it's more than a month. That played a huge role for the Dallas Mavs. So now they're leaning toward PJ Washington being that number 1 guy. Yeah, Quentin Grimes playing somewhat decent, but he's playing in the lineup with Spencer Dinwiddie. And then you got Lively doing his thing, and then I just heard that yesterday that Daniel Gafford is out for some time. So this is kind of rough for Dallas Mavs. Should they still go after Jimmy Butler? I don't think so. It's kind of, I'm going to give up PJ Washington, another player, and draft picks for Jimmy Butler for 1 year. You don't know if you're going to come back. I wouldn't do it. If I was them, I would just ride it out with the players that they got. Wait until Kyrie comes back. See if they can mix and match their lineup better. And maybe make a trade towards middle of All-Star week. Who knows? It's a little bit iffy for the Dallas Mavs. They do have a good team. It's just, I think they only have little to no money to spend because you use it on Kyrie and Luka, a lot of it. And then you have a little bit of PJ Washington. And it's like, you can't do what you actually want to do with your team. But, hey, who knows? I think the Mavs can definitely turn around when Kyrie comes back a little bit better. But when Luka comes back, it'll be a different story. They'll be back to what they were in the beginning of the season. Then, we're going to talk about... Wow. We have a lot. I'm trying to see if we can pick out the ones that is honestly talk about. I don't want to go on and on and on about little stuff we don't have to talk about that much. We're talking about Jaden Ivey. Okay. I hope Jaden Ivey is okay. He fell a couple of days ago. And it was a broken fibula. If you saw that fall, it was not pretty. He's out for the season, more likely. And I hope he really gets a lot of rest. I hope he gets better, and I hope he comes back stronger. He's a good young player, bro. He doesn't really show it from the stats. It's okay, decent, but he's a pretty young and upcoming player. I hope this injury doesn't affect him for his career. Who knows? Who knows, bro? Now, as for the other player that's always injured, Zion needs to get his act together, bro. Like, it was sources that he fired his agent because he wanted to go to the Knicks, I think before draft night, and that didn't happen, and he's just being lazy, and yeah. It seems like the connected teams that really want him is the Miami Heat and Spurs, but there's really not that much talk about Zion getting traded. And I think teams don't really want to get him because they're not sure if he's actually going to play. Take all that money, then not play at all. Who knows? I don't even know when he's going to play. I don't even think he even played yet. Then we're going to talk about a player who just got back, Kawhi Leonard. He made a season debut against the Atlanta Hawks. And let's look at Kawhi Leonard's stats so far. So, For the last couple of games, he had 10 points, 2.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 31.8 field goal percentage per game, by the way. So, not bad for a guy who hasn't played it so long. Just started a few games already. Well, 2 games. So, in versus Atlanta, he had 12 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, and 33.3% from the free throw. And percentage, by the way, and then 36.4 from the field goal percentage. Not the greatest, but could be better. But he only played about 19 minutes. Then when he versed Minnesota, this one's a little bit interesting. 8 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 40% from the 3-point line, and 27 from the field goal percentage. And only played 21 minutes. In the fourth quarter, he played pretty much no minutes at all, which is weird. So I don't know what the Clippers are doing with Kawhi. I'm not sure if are they just gonna take it little by little, give him minutes more and more, or what? If I was them, I would try to trade him. Trade him, bro. But then again, you can't get nothing out of him now because injury prone and stats aren't showing that good, and you barely get nothing out of it. Nobody wants to take his contract, too much money. So it's a little bit risky. They should have traded him when they did, but it is what it is. I'm not sure about Kawhi. I don't know if this is going to help the team more as he comes back. I don't know. It's a little strange. It's a little bit strange on how this is going to go for Kawhi. I have no idea. It's some of these players, you don't really know how they're going to do because they come back for a few games and then they're injured again and they're out for like 3 months and they barely play any minutes. So Kawhi like made of glass. I don't know, man. But last but not least, let's talk about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler was really mad pretty much for the whole season this year. Was like, I wasn't sure why. But ended up being because contract. It was contract that he wanted from the Miami Heat. He wanted a big contract, like over $100 million, $135 million. And Pat Riley's like, no, you barely play. You're injured here and there. And we're not doing that good. But Jimmy Butler's side is like, yo. And Jimmy Butler was like this. I brought you to the NBA Finals twice. I had no help. And I came here to help your franchise after Dwayne Wade left. And this is what I get. And that's why I saw him in press conferences of being, very mad and depressed and not playing the greatest. He played pretty bad. He only played like 25 minutes, one game, had like 9 points. And it was bad luck for him. But also bad luck on the organization too, so it's not that good if both sides aren't, communicating well another. But it looks like he's been saying a lot of certain things. He said this. He said, people were saying Jimmy Butler on if he could get his joy back in Miami, and he says, probably not. This is right before he had a 7-game suspension, so right now it is his second or third game suspended, and teams are interested in trading for him. The teams that are interested in trading for him, it sounds like it's Memphis, Bucks, Phoenix. What other teams? Let me check what other teams. And it was Dallas at one point, but I don't think not anymore. But it looked like Phoenix, and also Warriors. But the Warriors are out of the picture now. They're not interested in him anymore. But it looks like Phoenix Suns can give them the best offer, which is Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal wanted to go to Miami. He even says he would waive his trade clause to go to Miami. And you can straight up trade Jimmy Butler and Bradley Beal for one another, maybe add a pick just to satisfy the other team. The other team you can kind of see maybe, but it's not going to be a trade that you want to go for if you trade away Jimmy Butler. But now it sounds like it's very confusing because it sounds like the Heat want to keep him now because the trade that they're looking for isn't appealing. And they're saying, okay, when he comes back, we're not going to let him just sit out. He has this big contract. We're going to let him play, but he got to play. I don't know. It's very confusing. That's why I try and research some of these players, some of these teams as much as I can, because there's always 1 minute one player wants to leave, another minute they don't want to leave. And I'm not sure what to do with Miami because it sounds like they want to get rid of him, but they don't. I don't know. It's just Jimmy Butler's mad. So I can't give you a direct answer of what the issue is going to be because there's so many posts I see on IG, Facebook, TikTok. They're all saying, oh, this team are pursuing him very aggressively. Oh, this team, that. And I'm like, bro, you literally said that like last month and nothing happened. Like, you say that every year and it doesn't, like, what are you saying? You said it 2 or 3 times in 1 month. So, I don't know. So, right now it's up in the air for Jimmy Butler. If I was Jimmy Butler, should I stay with the team and get a decent contract that's not what I actually want? Or should I go to a different team, get traded, and get signed in the offseason? Since you have 1 year left. If I was him, I would say, it's kind of tricky. So he loves Miami. He loves the organization, the fan base. It's just the money part. I know he's 30-something, 34 years old, something like that. I get it, man. Like, money's big. But you're a millionaire, bro. You're a millionaire. I would say just get a decent contract. Like, why go to another team and move? It's kind of silly. You're going to retire in another few years. Just get a somewhat decent contract. I know the Miami Heat did it with Dwayne Wade, which I get it. I kind of see your point. But it's Pat Riley, bro. This is what he does. Either deal with it or go to a different team and just ride your career out there. That's how I would say. I don't know. If I was him, I would just stay, stick it up, whatever. Just stick it. Hey, who knows? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Would you leave Miami or would you stay? Let me know. And if you leave, which team? But I would just stay. Then we got the Suns again. Let's go back to the Suns. So the Suns benched Bradley Beal and a center. I can't pronounce his name, so don't even ask. They benched him because they weren't winning any ball games. They're doing really bad right now. So they won last night, which someone showed that Bradley Beal dropped 26 from the bench, which is impressive. So it looks like this might be something that they're going to try out for a little while. And if they start winning bowl games after this, this might be a new thing for the team. They may not want to trade for Jimmy Butler or whoever else. I think it'll be pretty good. Then we got... Let's see anything else for the NBA. It could be a little longer video because we lost a lot of information the last 2 or 3 weeks of not having the podcast. But it looks like that might be it for the NBA. Certain trades that happen and etc. Yeah, that's it for the NBA. Let me just double check before we move on to the NFL. Let's see. Let's see. But yeah, the NBA is very interesting. One more. So we're going to talk about Bulls center. It sounds like the Golden State Warriors are interested in the Bulls center. I can't pronounce his name. But I'll try. Nikola Vucevic, is that right? He's a high-level trade target for Golden State, and they will offer Gary Payton II, Kevin Looney, and a 2025 protected first-round pick. That's what it sounds like from a couple of reports that the Golden State Warriors are interested in him. I think that's someone that they need. Can shoot a three, can rebound. They need a big like him, and that will help them push in the playoffs much better. Getting rid of Looney and Payton is fine. Payton out for the season. Looney really doesn't do nothing, and get rid of a first round pick is fine. It's fine. I think I would do it if I was the Warriors. Now for Chicago, I wouldn't. Payton out for the season, and Looney, I don't know. I'm not feeling Looney. I'm not. And then a first round pick, yeah, but maybe you want more first round picks. So, it seems like Golden State's more interested in him than any other team. So we'll see. I think Warriors would be better side for the Warriors getting him, but then the Bulls, not such a good deal. So we gotta see what other deals we can do if I was Chicago with the Warriors. I can't think of any other team because they're not interested in him, has no connection with him. But what the Warriors can give to the Bulls to actually work, that the Bulls want to do, because this is not it. This is not it. I would say add 2 first round picks. I know salaries might have to be a thing. They don't want to get rid of some. They want to get rid of Wiggins. They don't want to get rid of what's the other guy? Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga, right? If I'm correct. It's kind of hard. It's hard because if they want a full-blown rebuild, then yeah, get a bunch of picks and a young piece or two. But there's nothing that's really appealing for Golden State. I don't know. I guess Looney and a couple of picks, like 2 first-round picks, second-round picks. I don't know. It's kind of iffy. It's kind of iffy because the Warriors don't have that many attraction players. Some young pieces are okay, but it's not worth it for a really good center. So yeah, because the Bulls are trying to rebuild. So yeah, and yeah, that's it for the NBA. We did pretty wild. I think 42 minutes of the NBA, which is something that we don't really do. We really take about 10 minutes, maybe 15, go over highlights and stuff. But yeah, interesting so far. In the NBA, we got all that out of the way. Now let's talk about the NFL. With NFL, we have a lot of stuff going on too. Could be another 30 minutes of it. Nah, I'm going to try and short this one up. So NFL standings, playoffs. So a lot of teams are out and some are in. So let's look at the NFL playoff picture. We got the teams that are going to be playing this Saturday, playoff. Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Steelers, Broncos in the AFC. Now, as for the NFC, we got the Lions, Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Vikings, Commanders, and Packers. Pretty good teams. Let's talk about the AFC games coming up. We got the Chiefs versus Broncos. Who we got? I'm going to say the Chiefs because you know how the refs are. They want to help the Chiefs win, which is going to happen. But I would rather want the Broncos to win, but the Chiefs are honestly going to win that one. So Chiefs. Bills versus... Wait. I think I made a mistake on this one. Week 18, my bad. My bad on that one. But it shows you those are teams that are going into playoffs. I thought they're versus the Patriots. It said Patriots, I'm like, they're out. Huh? But let's look at the actual playoff pictures that the teams are going to be versing each other. There you go. My bad on that one. Alright, so the AFC, we got the Chiefs as a bye, first round bye, as we know. We got the Broncos versus Bills. So we got this one. We give it to the Bills. Broncos might do a pretty good dogfight with the Bills, but the Bills are going to win because Josh Allen doing his thing. Might be MVP season. Next up, we got the Steelers versus Ravens. I'm going to give the Ravens the much more ready to go than the Steelers. But who knows? It's a playoff. Anything happens. Chargers versus Houston. I'm going to give this to... trying to think. I'm not sure. I'm gonna throw this up in the air. I'm gonna say Houston. Both teams. It's kind of weird seeing them in the playoff. Not feeling it. Next up, we got is NFC. Lions first round bye, of course, one of the best teams in the NFC in football, pretty much. 15-2. Wow. Then we got Green Bay versus Eagles. Eagles winning this one. Packers might do somewhat decent, but Eagles doing really good. Yeah, Barkley, yeah, good defense. Yeah. Washington versus Tampa. I feel like it could be a pretty good dogfight. I'm going to give this towards Washington more because of Daniels. The offense clicking much better. Defense is a little better than Bucks, I feel like. It's Washington. Minnesota versus the Rams. I'm going to give it to Minnesota. Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson. Defense is doing really good. Running backs doing awesome. Rams, I don't know how they made it, but they made it. And yeah, that is your playoff picture of who I think they're going to win, who's going to lose. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, who do I think is going to go far? It's going to be the Bills and the Ravens for the AFC, and the Lions and Eagles. The other AFC team, I'm not feeling it. I feel the Chiefs are going to lose one point or another. I hope they do not go to the Super Bowl. I hope not, please. Please. But NFC, it's easy. Lions and Eagles, both really good teams. NFC Championship game right there. Now, Super Bowl wise, I'm going to go for... Give me Bills and Lions. I feel like, give me Bills and Lions. I feel the Lions are a very good team. Coaching wise, players, I know defense is not at 100, but 15-2, doing something right. But yeah, I'm kind of hyped for this, man. I'm pretty hyped for this playoff, honestly. And usually I don't watch the playoff because my New York Jets haven't been in the playoffs since 2011, 2010. Bad. But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it this season. Now, what else in the NFL happened? Aaron Rodgers' last game was this past Sunday. Where do you think Aaron Rodgers will go? Will he retire? Will he stay with the Jets? Or will he maybe go to the Raiders or any other team that needs a quarterback? What do you think? Aaron Rodgers said he wants to stay at the New York Jets, but there's feelings sometimes that he wants to retire and others. I don't know. Confusing. But it seems like Aaron Rodgers is leaning towards wanting to stay with the Jets, but if the Jets really want to keep him. Now, as a Jets fan, I do want him to stay because who else can we get? We're not bringing back Sam Darnold. The Vikings might get him. Some other team might give him a lot of money. Other players out there at quarterback, I don't really trust. And he's the only guy that I can think of. He has some rookie quarterbacks behind him. I don't know about them. You can draft a rookie quarterback in the draft, but it's not going to be like, any of the upcoming really talented ones because you're 7th pick, 8th pick. I would just keep Rodgers for another year or two, maybe until he wants to retire. And then see what goes there. Start drafting a quarterback here and there. Maybe bring a quarterback in that's much younger than Rodgers. Who knows? But the Jets are not good at developing quarterbacks at all. So I would say just get someone from free agency after Rodgers leaves. But yeah, it's really tricky because it's not like Rodgers is young, and we can hey, let's keep him. Let's do this. Let's do that. No, he's much older. So it's like he has another 2, 3, 4 years left. Maybe not even that. So I would hate to keep him. You know, uh, fix their coaching staff. Fix it. Fix it now. That's the number one thing you have to do. But as for coaching staff, back to the Jets. The Jets are looking at not only coaches but GMs. They fired Joe Douglas. They had the interim head coach. You guys already know about Robert Saleh. He left. They fired him. He worked for the Packers. Some behind the scene thing. And they've been interviewing many coaches. Mike Vrabel, some Lions coordinators, offense and defense, some coordinators, and some guys who are pretty much new at coaching. They've been interviewing, and then they're even interviewing people in the past, like Rex Ryan. And then the GM, I know more about the coaches than I do about the GMs. GMs, not so much. There's a lot of GMs out there that are really, really experienced, or they're under the GM in their organization, or they were GMs. So I'm not really sure about who's good, who's bad in that category. So I'm not going to go over that. But coaches-wise, I'll go over this. The best coaches that I think the Jets should go after are these three people. And I'm being very, very if this is the best thing and it's accurate. Because if I'm going to tell you any other coaches, it's not going to work, because they are not want to go with the Jets, or they're interested in another team. So these three coaches is Mike Vrabel. I think he's the best option because he fits well with the Jets. He did really good with Tennessee. And I think he's really liking the Jets because of how good players they have on the team. He can change that organization around a lot. Now, the other coach I'm going to say is Rex Ryan. I'm going to get some hit for this, but Rex Ryan was the last coach for the Jets who brought them to the playoff. Back-to-back AFC Championship games. What other Jets coach has done that since then? The other Jets coach that was doing that, playoff-wise, I think was Mangini or Herm Edwards, if I'm correct. I was young. I barely remember it. But I remember watching it, and I think they brought them to the playoff once. Once, I think. Maybe twice. But it was like separate years. If I'm wrong with that, I think it was way more past that. Like early 2000s. But Rex Ryan was the last Jets head coach to bring in the playoffs. Every coach that came in wasn't doing their job. They were not doing their job at all. So I think Rex Ryan, he's out of football for 6 years, something like that, like a really long time. But I think he learned from his mistakes. He learned that the game changes a lot. And he bleeds green and white. He loves the New York Jets. I never ever heard of a coach of when I played football, when I watched football as a fan, that a coach who is that passionate about a team. About a team, bro. And he's so passionate that he wants to coach for them again. And he was really dying to win a Super Bowl for the Jets. And I wish we did win it with him. I wish, because that team we had in the 2009, 10, 11 season, wow. We had really good teams. One point we had a squad one year. LaDainian Tomlinson, Jason Taylor, Cromartie, Revis, Bar Scott. And also one year, by the way, we had Ray Lewis. I was hype. I was like, okay. Wait, was it Ray Lewis? Or Ed Reed? Something like that. Well, or maybe I had a dream. My bad. I think I had a dream. I thought we had Ray Lewis 13. My bad. I thought we had Ray Lewis. I feel like we had some really good former Ravens on our team. I was tripping. Never mind. But we had a really good team. We had Santonio Holmes, we had Braylon Edwards, we had Dustin Keller, we had Sean Green. We had such a good team that we could have won a Super Bowl easily, easily. Like we had such a good team, but mistakes. You live, you learn, you move on. And I think giving Rex Ryan this opportunity to come back and redeem himself and giving a second shot, I think he's not gonna take it for granted. I think he's gonna, you know, make his team very special, very special. I'm not saying because as a Jets fan, but I'm saying as a football fan because I've seen him. Like, he's a coach. His dad was Buddy Ryan. He's the one that helped the Chicago Bears, helped the Philadelphia Eagles. His brother coached the Cowboys. Yeah, brother wasn't the best, but like he lived in a football family house. You don't get that many coaches that live in a football family house. You get maybe a brother who played, or maybe a dad that he wasn't that dedicated to playing, or but he lived and breathed this game. You need a coach like that. So he's the second option I'm gonna say. And the third option, I would say the Lions offensive coordinator, but that's gonna be really tricky to get. Because he seems like he's more interested in the Chicago Bears job. Sounds like a lot of buzz going on around that. But I think it'll be the other guy on the line, defensive coordinator. I forgot his name, but I feel like he's going to do good. I think he'll be somewhat good. I feel like he brings that defensive mentality better than Robert Saleh did. I feel like Saleh's a little bit more soft. But I think he brings more of heart, brings more grit. And not only that, but I feel like he's connected to players. He's a former player. He played in the NFL. And you need that former player. You can't just add a coach who never played in the NFL. Can't relate to the players that well. But a former player helps a lot. I think that'll be the really good option for the Jets to go for those three coaches. Let me know in the comments. I think that's a really good option. I can't even think of anyone else. But yeah. Other teams looking for coaches. You got the Jaguars. They fired their coach, Doug Peterson. He posted a 22-29 record and one playoff appearance in 3 seasons as a Jaguars head coach. I'm not sure who's going to go coach the Jaguars. They're not an appealing spot. People say they are, but trust me, they're not. Defense is somewhat decent. Offense a little bit of a mess. Can't really trust that. Other coaches got fired. The New England Patriots fired Gerard Mayo after a 4-13 record, even though they won their last game versus Buffalo. What do I think about this? I think it seems like the Patriots are getting a lot of backlashes of even hiring him, but also firing him, because you hired a guy who's supposed to be the next Bill Belichick, supposed to be with your organization for years to come, but he wasn't good. He wasn't good. Yes, he was a player, and he was a former player. You would think that would help, but he was not good. Hire him wise, it was kind of silly. I feel they should have went for someone else. And fire him, after one season, you just kicked him out of the door. It's kind of mean, kind of messed up. Not his fault. Give a crappy team around him. But yeah. And then what else? You have a couple of teams that are going to keep their head coaches, like the Colts, like the I think the Titans too, if I'm correct on that. So there's a couple of teams that were going to fire their coach, but they end up keeping him. Very interesting though, because there's going to be a lot of teams that need a coaching if that was going to be the case. But now it's about 5 teams that are in need of coaching, not 9. What else? You got speaking of the Patriots though, I totally forgot to say this, is that it looks like Mike Vrabel might even be the Patriots head coach. I feel like he was a player for the Patriots. I think he liked New England. I think he maybe wants to go back there. I think the Patriots have an easier chance of getting him than any other team. Who knows? Now, as for players injured wise. Christian Watson torn his ACL and suffered additional damage to his right knee, out for the entire playoff. Prayers up for Watson. Didn't have that much good of a season, but prayers up for him. It stinks, man. Injury right before playoff is something that you do not want to go through in the NFL. What else? We got, I don't think any other injuries that were big out there. I think that was, Buccaneers safety Jordan Whitehead suffered a serious injury in a car crash about 3 days ago. Is out multiple weeks. Prayers up to Whitehead too. It was an auto accident in the morning. His way to practice facility. So we're not sure if he'll be in the playoff, but he won't be playing the first game for the Saints. So yeah, it was my bad. They already played the Saints. I'm saying in general, playoffs coming up. Rest up to him. Not rest up, but prayers up. What else? I'm like losing thoughts right now. I'm going really long with these videos. Let's see what else we can look into. Oh, Mike Evans now tied with who is it? Mike Evans tied with Come on. Tell me. Jerry Rice. 11 straight consecutive seasons with 1K receiving yards. So, next year, if Mike Evans gets past the 1K receiving yard, he'll beat Jerry Rice all time. Wow. Really props to Mike Evans, bro, because when he first got into the league, didn't have a good quarterback, and he just kept on cooking. I don't know how, but just kept on cooking. Then you get Tom Brady, he helps. Then Baker, he helps. So he's doing his thing, man. I'm proud of him. Right? I am very proud of Mike Evans. So I think that's it for the NFL. There's a couple of minor signings for the playoffs, but nothing big. I'm not going to go over some of these. There's really nothing to really talk about. Oh, one more thing. Well, two more things we'll talk about actually before we wrap up the NFL. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill wants to lead the Miami Dolphins. We're going to talk about this. This is really selfish by him. Selfish. You leave Kansas City for money. And then when you go to Miami, you're saying that Tua is way better than Patrick Mahomes, which we know that's full of baloney. Yeah, his arm, it might be a little, somewhat better than Patrick Mahomes. But you're saying he's 10 times better than Patrick Mahomes? You know how many Super Bowl Patrick Mahomes won? And Patrick Mahomes made you. I bet you if Tyreek Hill was drafted by the Dolphins and Tua was his quarterback, then he wouldn't even get one ring, bro. No. And Tyreek Hill had the nerve to say this. I really don't want to be in Miami anymore, but, I want to leave, pretty much. Not like that, but you guys saw, the whole news and ESPN and Sports Center and all that. He said that. He wanted to leave Miami. You literally went to the postseason 9 times in a row. This is the first time you didn't make it. The first time. And you're complaining? And you want to leave? What? When you were in Miami, you went to the playoffs. What are you talking about? Yes, you never went to the... What? And I agree with Stephen A. Smith. Some things Stephen A. Smith, I'm like, bro, you're delusional. You're doing too much. But I gotta agree with him. You're saying about the money, no, my family. No, this is not about the money. This is about this playoff stuff. Bro, suck it up. Be a professional. And don't ask for a trade. Teams look at you like, huh? Look at you right now like, I'm going to trade for this guy? Because he didn't make the playoff? What if we don't make the playoffs next season? Is he going to stay with us? What to waste all this pick? All this good players we're going to trade away for him? Huh? Better yet, he should have stayed in Kansas City. He should have stayed with them. I would have. Yeah, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, good offensive line, decent defense at the time. And you leave for Miami? And the Chiefs were going to offer him somewhat like a decent deal. It wasn't like to be a lot like the Miami deal, but somewhat decent. I don't know, bro. It's very interesting how Tyreek Hill really does this. And it's very unprofessional. It really pisses me off a little bit because, bro, you're so ungrateful. Like, there's so many players who wish they were in your shoes right now. Living in Miami, not a tax state like New York and anywhere else. And it's just, you're the number one option on that team. I can say on and on about this, but if I was Miami, I would trade him. Trade him. Because you can't deal with him. Miami fans don't deserve this. You're already going through this already. I don't know. I would say trade him. My best guess. Try not to deal with him. Make Jalen Waddle your number one option. Get someone from off season. T. Higgins. Maybe even trade Tyree to Cincinnati. But it's the same AFC. I would say push him to the NFC. I won't leave him AFC conference. Nah. But yeah, it's not right. It's not right. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about what was it? I forgot one more thing. Oh, the NFL draft. So as you guys see, a lot of teams are out, and every time you lose, you go higher up in the NFL draft. Now, at one point, the Giants were really a number one pick for a while. Then the Raiders, and then so on. Now look at this. Guess who has the number one pick? The Tennessee Titans. Second pick. You know what the second pick? The Cleveland Browns. Third pick, the New York Giants. The fourth, New England Patriots. The fifth, Jacksonville Jaguars. The sixth, Las Vegas Raiders. The seventh, New York Jets. The eighth, Carolina Panthers. The ninth, New Orleans Saints. The 10th, Chicago Bears. That's your top 5 draft order right now. And it looks like the Tennessee Titans might get, as you know, Colorado's Heisman Trophy winner. Now, do you think he wants to go to Tennessee? I don't think so. I think he would really like to go to New York, to be honest, the Giants, even though they're not appealing. But New York, better market for him. Or the Las Vegas Raiders. Those two areas. Market, better players, kind of. I know Tennessee is kind of equivalent with the Giants, but Raiders have a little bit better players around. But very interesting draft order. I'm not sure. I don't know the other players in the draft. I just know the top 2, top 3 players, and this is where they're going to be going more likely. If something happens in the trade, I'll let you guys know. But right now, this is the order. Ooh, I'm a little bit hyped about this. If we go to Tennessee, I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to, because Tennessee is not a place you want to go to for your rookie season, unless you're Derrick Henry and you know how to ball out. But yeah, guys, that's it for the NFL. Over an hour and 9 minutes. I think the longest we ever did it was like an hour and 4. Now for MLB, let's talk about it. A couple of good signings. We had a couple of good ones. Wow. Alright, let's talk about the key additions to each and every team, and we'll update you about the Pete Alonso situation. So now it looks like players signing here and there, a good amount signing here and there. The Astros signed Christian Walker to a 3-year contract. $60 million deal. This is a really good move for the Astros to bring Christian Walker. He's a really good player. He hits a 251 average with 26 home runs and 84 RBI. Pretty good player. I think Astros did a good thing by signing him. So I think that's a pretty good move for the Astros. The New York Yankees, a little iffy on their end. I'm not a Yankee fan, but I try to support my big brother a little bit as a Mets fan. But they signed veteran first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, is that right? To a one-year deal, $12.5 million deal. He last season had 245 average, 22 home run, 80 RBI, and he'll be their first baseman for the team. Might be DH here and there. This might be a little bit of a interesting signing, but as you saw from last season with the Cardinals, the beginning of the season he was horrendous, horrible. Towards the end, he did really good. So we'll see. He was always interested in the Yankees, but the Yankees never showed the interest back, and I think he will do somewhat good. Oh, by the way, rest in peace to Ricky Henderson. He passed away at 65 years old on December 21st. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. It's sad, man. He was an iconic player. I didn't really grow up watching him. I heard a lot of good things about Ricky Henderson. He was like, before Jose Reyes, he was that guy. He had the speed. He had the talent. I just know the fact by looking him up more and more. He was that guy for Oakland. He was born in Oakland. I know he was from Chicago, but he grew up in Oakland, and he was the guy who represents the Athletics back in the day. Was with the team I think for about 6 seasons. I think 4 or 5 of them, and then he came back 1 or 2 seasons. And before he got to the league, he wasn't a power hitter. He had the athleticism. He had the speed. He always stole a lot of bases. He was that guy. But as time went on, as he was in the major league, he started to develop as a power hitter. Not as Albert Pujols like, but pretty good. And it stinks, man. He's only 65 years old. And what even stinks even more is that he went to the last game in Oakland right before they had the last game in for the Athletics. He looked good from the video. He looks good, healthy, and then this happened. It's sad, man. It really is. But he was such a really talented player. I wish I grew up watching him a little bit more. I think I did watch him a little bit in the early 2000s, but I don't remember. I really don't remember. I remember he was on the Yankees, the Mets, some other teams. But I don't remember him clearly. But rest in peace to him. Guardians just signed Carlos Santana to a 1-year contract. Goes back to the Guardians after I don't know how long. 1 year, $12 million deal. He had 238 average with 23 home runs and 71 RBI. He'll be a starting first baseman role. It's something. I'll give you guys that one, since people know who he is. Then we'll talk about the Mets. Sean Manaea resigned from the Mets with a 3-year, $75 million deal. So he heads back to the Mets. The Mets helped him with his career a lot that first year he came to the Mets. And he wanted to come back. And this is a really good move for the Mets. We needed a starting pitcher. We can't rely on David Peterson and Kodai Senga, but adding Manaea is going to help our pitching much better. But the Mets need another first baseman, and they need more bullpen help, and another starter, 1 or 2. It might be 1 more starter, but good deal for the Mets to bring him back. I like it. I'm going to go Jock Peterson went to the Texas Rangers. I think it's a good deal. I'm not going to go over that one. 2-year, $37 million deal. Good, I guess. Red Sox signed Walker Buehler, a 1-year deal worth $21 million deal. Walker hasn't been doing that good this past season. His ERA was a 5.38, not the greatest, but injuries played a huge role. If Boston can help his, mechanics and stuff much better since his injury, good deal for Boston. Might even stay longer after this season, but who knows? Andrew McCutchen, this man stayed playing. I think he's like, what, how old is he now? I think he's like 40 something or late 30. He's been playing for years. But Andrew McCutchen is back with the Pirates, a 1-year deal. I'm not sure this is going to be his last year with Pittsburgh, but if it is, I really am grateful to watch Andrew McCutchen growing up. He's a very well-known player, but he wasn't a guy that I idolized as. But I liked him as a player in Pittsburgh. I feel like he should have been in Pittsburgh his whole career, but as you know, he left and came back. But hey, Pittsburgh brings back their very own Andrew McCutchen. And a couple of signings here and there, trades. Tigers signed Gleyber Torres to a 1-year contract worth $15 million deal. He will be their, let me see. I think he's going to be their first baseman or their second baseman. And I think their second baseman is going to slide to first base, something like that. It's very confusing what the Tigers are doing right now. But shocking for the Yankees not bringing him back because he was doing really good in the playoffs. But the Yankees saw the fact that, it was just an up and down type of player. They want to try and switch something up. All right, let's see what he does in Detroit. Now, the Dodgers re-signed Teoscar Hernandez, which kind of hurts as a Mets fan. I'll go over this any second now, to a 3-year, $66 million deal. So this one kind of hurts as a Mets fan because the Mets offer him even more money, and I think the same amount of years, but he wanted to go back to LA, and the Mets needed another outfielder. It is what it is, but I think good move for the Dodgers to bring him back, like he wanted to come back. Another big signing we talk about is Corbin Burns. He signed to a 6-year contract worth $210 million deal with the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Diamondbacks, my bad. I kept thinking Arizona Cardinals for NFL. Arizona Diamondbacks. Very interesting though because other teams were offering him way more money. The Giants were offering him way more money. And I think the Blue Jays too. But family lives in Arizona. And I think he liked the fact that it was, taxes weren't like San Fran or anywhere else. And that's where he chose. I think it's going to be a pretty good move for the Diamondbacks. Starting pitching rotation is pretty solid. I like it. But we'll see how that goes in Arizona. Some signings here and there. Some players can go back to their former team. The LA Dodgers are signing free agent Korean infielder Ha-Seong Kim, is that right? To a 3-year deal, roughly $22 million deal. Kim, 25 years old, appeared in 127 games for the team he played for, and flashing a .326 average with 11 home runs and 75 RBI. He was also won Korea's Gold Glove 3 times and stolen bases, and also was a stolen base threat. I don't know a whole lot about him. I heard he's pretty good, really good. As you can tell, when I say pretty good, he's really good. The Dodgers get him. Dodgers are making a really good team now. They won the World Series. They want to keep on winning. They want to turn into like the Yankees, win every year, like the Yankees were back in the day. And good move for the Dodgers. I feel like other teams should have offered him, but I think I think people just love the fact that I think Korea and the players and Chinese players are closer to LA, California, that they want to go there. Or maybe Shohei Ohtani convinces them to come. Who knows? But really good move for the Dodgers to get him. Barely can talk. And that's it, guys. That's it. I can talk more and more about the MLB free agency. Other stuff. We've been here for an hour and almost 20 minutes. And we got a lot done. I got a lot of edit to do for this. But we're gonna get back on track. Post short clips, YouTube short, regular short clips and we're gonna have this long clip today. I'm gonna post it later on. So stay tuned for that. You'll see it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but yeah, back on track. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you're new. If you want to listen to more sports and lifestyle stuff. Lifestyle stuff will be coming soon next week. This week I had to get back on track with sports, and then we're gonna start adding lifestyle stuff this week coming up. Well, next week. Yeah. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.